Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we are going to be talking about the one meal replacement that I suggest. So before I get into this, I am not a nutritionist. I am not sponsored by Axe&Sledge, whose product I am going to be talking about. I'm just a guy who has done some stuff in his life and now has experience that I want to share with you. So we'll start off with my backstory and why I actually suggest this product. So ever since I was younger, got interested in weightlifting, the supplement industry is a huge part of everything that you do. They are very interested in trying to sell you the next best thing that is gonna get you big or get you lean. That's really not the way it works. So while some products that are out there have been proven to actually improve results, the vast majority of what you're doing is, at the end of the day, it is a measure of calories in, calories out. If you are working harder, you have more calories going out. And those calories going out need to be matched with your calories going in. If you're trying to lose weight, you don't need to go on some dramatic diet where you cut 2,000 calories out and you're only eating like a shake a day. Figure out where your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate, which is a calculation that figures out how many calories your body burns just resting. At a state of no activity, that is what your body burns in a day. And then depending on how active you are, it's multiplied by like 1.2 to 1.9, and that's how you figure out how many calories you should be eating a day. But once you know what that is, you're able to work with that to figure out what your calories should be. If you're interested in a little bit more of a simplified way of doing it, I highly suggest the app MyFitnessPal. It's made by Under Armour. I'll link it down in the description, but you pretty much put in your activity level, how much you weigh, how tall you are, all that kind of stuff, and it does the calculations for you to figure out a relative amount of how much food you should be eating a day. Specifically your calories, but then also your macros, your fats, your proteins, and your carbohydrates. So with that all being said, it's all about your calories in, calories out. And if you have more calories going in than you have going out, you're going to gain weight. If you have more calories going out than going in, you are going to lose weight. In the modern age, a lot of our highly processed food doesn't have the quality nutrients that our bodies actually need. And so making sure you're eating your fruits, vegetables, blah, 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 all that stuff. On top of that, sometimes you need a supplement to help you supplement your already good diet. And that's where this supplement industry of fitness really tries to push their product being the best. And now I've tried a bunch of different stuff. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. I did a previous video where I talk about those kind of things, so I'll link that. Something that I personally have struggled with is making sure that I am eating enough during the day. Especially after long bike rides, I'm not always as hungry as I should be, and I know that something needs to go in because a lot has just been burnt and worked off. So the product that I have found that helps me the most is Axe&Sledge's Homemade series. This is Axe&Sledge's Homemade. It is a meal replacement powder, but it is extremely high in protein. In this container, there's 25 servings. However, that is not the way I use it. Instead of using 2 scoops like they suggest, I only use 1 scoop. And so what kind of separates this from other protein powders that are on the market is per scoop, you're working with about 210 calories. You have about 24 grams of protein, which is pretty good for other protein powders that exist on the market. But then where they really separate themselves is the ingredients that they're using. There is whole grain oat flour and then their homemade protein recipe, which is whey protein isolate, which is the best one. That's like 85 to 90% actual whey protein. Protein concentrate, which is the less good one because that tends to be like 60 to 80%. That's more lactose, and that's normally where people run into digestive issues. But then it also has brown rice protein, egg white protein, beef protein, and pea protein. And then one of my favorite things that they have in this is sweet potatoes. That is really what separates this product from a lot of other products on the market. Most mass gainers are a lot of empty calories in sugar and in blank carbohydrates. So what tends to happen when most people use a mass gainer as a supplement to not getting enough food in their normal diet is they just gain a lot of fat because your body really doesn't have a use for that other stuff and it kind of just sits there. Also, your average mass gainer is around like 700 to 1,000 calories per suggested serving, which if you're only eating 2,000 calories a day, that's like half of your diet for the entire day wrapped up into one shake. Homemade is a meal replacement because it's using these quality whole foods based products in their mixture, as well as only being about 210 calories per scoop. It's higher than other protein powders that you'll find on the market that usually sit around like 100 to 130 calories. But it's not getting into those crazy numbers where you know it's just a bunch of blank carbohydrates and sugars. Your body is actually going to be able to use the ingredients that are in Homemade. So Axe&Sledge has 5 different flavors. I can really only speak to 3 of them. But from what I have come across, I would believe that the other ones in this line would be delicious. So the 5 flavors are peanut butter cookie, chocolate brownie, sweet potato pie, blueberry muffin, and lemon cream pie. So the ones that I'm able to speak to are the chocolate brownie, which is the one that I have right here, the sweet potato pie, and the blueberry muffin. So we'll start off with the one that I'm currently using, which is the chocolate brownie. Hands down, my favorite one that I have tried. I tend to use this in shakes, so I'm adding in extra oats, I'm adding in bananas, I'm adding in peanut butter. When you do that, chocolate is a wonderful flavor that kind of just like melds in with everything else. So you're not having an overpowering flavor trying to compete with bananas and peanut butter, which can be really strong flavors within themselves. The sweet potato pie tastes like sweet potato pie. It is wonderful. And the issue that I ran into with it was I knew I would not be able to use it for a long period of time. It was too sweet, and it's a flavor that really is not a normal part of my diet. Now, my wife eats sweet potatoes all the time, so it might be easier for her to go with a flavor like that. However, I do not eat sweet potatoes all the time, and I think I would have a very hard time if I tried to use that as my main protein supplement source over the course of 50 servings. And for a similar reason, the blueberry muffin was not a top contender for me because blueberry muffin, once again, tastes like blueberry muffins. It is delicious. They nailed the flavor, but blueberry muffin is something that I'm only able to eat every once in a while. I don't eat muffins every day, and there's a reason for it. It is really sweet. It doesn't blend super well with other things. Not that the consistency does not blend well. The flavor does not blend well with other things, and I needed something more neutral. So if I had to take a guess without trying it, I would say that the peanut butter cookie is probably a good choice as well, considering it's a more neutral flavor. It doesn't stand out on its own all that much, and so especially for making shakes like I do, that flavor would just kind of meld with everything else and it would come out tasting a lot better than trying to be a standalone flavor. So the recipe that I tend to do is 6 to 8 ounces of milk, 1 scoop of the homemade protein powder, half or a whole banana, 2 to 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, and a 1/3 cup of steel cut oats. So to give you kind of the calories spread across that, it is about like 200 calories for a 1/3 cup of steel cut oats, about 200 calories for every 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. A banana is around like 100 calories. 8 ounces of milk is also around 100 calories. And the Axe&Sledge is around 210 calories. So all of those added together is around like 810 calories. If you add more peanut butter to it, you're going to increase it. If you don't like peanut butter and you take it out, you're going to decrease it. Also, the amount of steel cut oats you put in it is going to change your calorie amounts. So all in all, you're probably looking at around 40 grams of protein for the entire shake. I have found that it's a great way to get in my calories and my protein after bike rides, after the gym, when I am not feeling super hungry. So ultimately, the question would be, well, am I able to just use this as a meal replacement like they suggest? And in my not professional opinion, no, you really shouldn't. It is a wonderful source of nutrients, it's a great source of protein, good source of calories, and especially when you're mixing it in with other stuff, it can become a full meal. However, it should not be a full meal on its own. Because like I said earlier in the video, this is a supplement. It is meant to be an addition to an already well-rounded diet, and that is what it is best used for. With that all being said, I would highly suggest going with the homemade line from Axe&Sledge. It is a delicious product, it has wonderful nutrition behind it, and I have loved getting to add it into my diet. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about this product or other products, make sure to leave those down in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe. That way you can stay up to date on all the videos as they come out, as well as hitting the little notification bell beside it. That way you are notified every time a new video comes out. But thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.